Welcome to the quietest ones in the room with your host, Trey. I gotta say it, it's gotta be said. Just the mere fact that you clicked onto this video, as always, you are the most beautiful and intelligent people on the face of the planet. So, once again, thank you for joining me. Oh my God. Today, I saw something fucking ridiculous that I need to talk about. And there are actually two things that I've seen in the last couple weeks that I want to address. I'll save the worst for last. The first one is I saw a mother because it snowed really, really bad here. We had a snowstorm in North Carolina in the Triangle area. I saw a mother driving a forerunner, and she had her son tied to the back of the forerunner, pulling him on a sled, driving down the road. And I thought to myself, how stupid could you possibly be? I couldn't believe that they concluded in their minds that it was the smartest thing to do and how you could optimize the fun of the snow that had fallen was to strap a sled to the back of a forerunner. And she had to be going like maybe 15 to 20 miles an hour. So that was bad. But let me tell you what I saw today. I saw a father with an infant strapped to his chest. You know those chest holsters you can put the infant inside of? I saw a father with an infant strapped to his chest on a scooter. On those fast scooters, not one of those slow, rinky-dink scooters. On a scooter that I've known of people falling off of and breaking bones. This father had the infant strapped to his chest, going downhill. And would you believe it that the mother was about maybe 15 yards away behind on a scooter herself? I can't make this shit up. Like the just because you're a parent doesn't mean you're a smart parent. Just because you're a parent doesn't mean you're going to do dumb shit that wouldn't put your kid in harm's way. I couldn't believe it. I don't have any jokes for it or anything. I was pretty upset when I saw it. I'd hoped that the cops would have been passing by at the time that I was, so they could arrest this guy. Arrest him. Police brutality him. Something. And the fact that the mother was 15 yards away. It looked like she was trying to catch up. That's how it looked, very strange. And I had my twins in the vehicle with me, so they're little. I can't turn around and try to save that infant strapped on his chest. But it definitely bothered me, and it just took me through this process of thinking deeper about things, and all this talk about AI and is AI smarter than humans? Hell yes. If that guy or that woman who was in the forerunner with her son behind her, or the father with the infant strapped to his chest, had asked AI if it was a great idea to do it, AI would have said, no, this is a bad idea. You could kill the infant, you could kill yourself and your son driving the forerunner on icy roads during a snowstorm. And I just gotta say, look, matter of fact, you guess what race these people were. Leave it in the comments. What do you think the woman driving the forerunner, what do you think her race was? And the guy with the infant strapped to his chest, what race do you think that father was, with the mother trailing behind 15 yards away? Ridiculous. So let's address something. Yes, AI has surpassed the intelligence of humans. By far, it's knocking it out the park. I'd even argue that AI is even more empathetic than humans are today. I dare you to argue against that. And I would even surmise that AI picks sides in matters of right and wrong. It does a better job of judging actions and picking a side. So I don't know what your experience with it has been in that regard, but I've seen it. So let me tell you something else that I thought about, because tech is a very powerful, innovative space. And I started thinking deeply about something today after seeing these shit for brain parents in high speed situations with their kids. And I started thinking to myself about autonomous vehicles versus us driving our vehicles. And so I'm on the highway and I'm thinking to myself, man, like ultimately, if the speed limits were reduced on the highway, more lives would be saved. And what beyond the parents that I saw, them doing crazy shit, and then me being on the highway, the other thing is, like, we go in rural areas, suburban areas, the speed limits are slower. And so you don't really hear a lot of news about fatal car accidents in rural suburban areas. You certainly do as you get on the highway and you get closer to cities. And I started thinking to myself that it's not necessarily that autonomous vehicles are better for our society than human drivers. I think we actually have a speed issue, because autonomous vehicles, obviously, the cars aren't perfect. They still crash. They make weird, wonky decisions, and they struggle in bad weather. And that's a part of traction with your tires, etc. What type of vehicle it is: 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel, front wheel or rear wheel drive, all-wheel drive. It's autonomous vehicles aren't perfect, and I think we have more of an issue with speed being the real problem. Because even with autonomous vehicles, even if they get to the point where they react faster than humans, the mere fact of high speed crashes are still deadly. So you could take all the drivers and have people packed into the autonomous vehicles, and if they're going 60, 70, 80 miles an hour down the highway and there's a crash, you're asking for a fatality. And metal on metal is always going to be an issue. And so it's like, in my mind, I started thinking to myself, is it a culture shift that we need or a tech fix? It's like, instead of waiting for autonomous vehicles to eventually take over, why isn't the government legislating on the highways that we drive every day that it should just be a matter of reducing the speed limit? Look, I enjoy driving fast, 70 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour, but I would forego driving fast knowing that it saves lives. It bothers me when I get up in the morning and I see on local news families that have altogether died in a car crash, grandmothers on their way home, children. It's unfortunate every fucking time. And to me, it seems like we have a culture problem of increasing speeds. And the only reason we do it is for economic purposes. The purpose of getting a product or service and employees here and there as quickly as possible. because an economist might say, oh, well, if we reduce speeds, then it's going to slow down the economy, and that's not good, and it's gonna hurt things. I understand all that, but if we just have a culture shift and understanding, we should value human lives over profit, and we can reduce anxiety and the stressors, and we can take our times when we need to get places. I think we feel better as a society if we did that. And again, I don't think the solution is autonomous vehicles, because they're going to be driving just as fast and they're going to be crashing. Icy roads are icy roads. I don't give a damn if it's a person driving it or an autonomous vehicle. And so there are obviously hidden dangers in autonomous vehicles. Companies are obviously pushing the profit, but do they actually make life better, or will they actually make life better for the average person? So it's like slower speeds versus self-driving cars, which actually would save more lives. I'm arguing that on the highways, if we reduce the speed limit to 50 and below, and maybe even took it down further than that, yeah, you'd get to work. It take longer to get to work. It take longer to get to your friends. It take longer to get here. It take longer to do everything. But we would save more lives. And maybe that sounds crazy to some people, but I would rather save lives. I'll forfeit going fast. The question is, would you forfeit going fast? And if the government, if the Trump administration say, you know what, I'm passing an executive order on the highways, you are required now to go less than 50 miles an hour because we need to reduce the amount of casualties on the highways, would you be okay with it? Or do you think that autonomous vehicles are going to solve the fatality issues as it pertains to driving? So I know, seeing those two parents recently got me thinking about saving lives, because that was some ridiculous shit I saw. That was some ridiculous shit. And let me say this, AI, let me go back to AI real quick. AI is getting to a point where the only things you're going to eventually need to do in life is pray to God and consult with God and consult with AI. There will literally be no reason to consult with other people about things that matter to you and the things that you need to do. That's where AI is going. And so that relationship, the relationship people have with God and AI, that's going to be a superpower moving forward. So anyway, I'm not going to keep you guys long. I just wanted to share my thoughts regarding those crazy ass parents and my thoughts about the speed limits, autonomous vehicles, and AI. I don't know how often you use AI, but I use it quite often. I'm probably what you consider a power user. And I see its impact on the things that I do. And so I'm curious in what ways you're using it, what your thoughts are, and just about everything that I talked about. Please share your thoughts in the comment section, like, subscribe. And as always, until next time.